What up, gamers? I'm Jason, and today on Dice and Dragons, I'm going to be unboxing the Lord of the Rings, the card games. Now, this is the living card game published by Fantasy Flight Games and designed by Nate French. Now, you may be wondering why I'm unboxing this. Well, as you can see, it is the new revised core box. Julie and I did have two of the original core boxes, but we decided, you know what? As they're re-releasing everything, we're going to dive into it now. So here we go. We got this bad boy. I want to check out what's inside. Now, this game is for 1 to 4 players. You'll be taking on the roles of some of your favorite heroes from the Lord of the Rings franchise: Aragorn, Legolas, Eowyn, even some that you may only know from Journeys in Middle-earth, like Beravor. There's a lot in the box, a lot more than there were previously in the original core boxes. One of the reasons why they revised it, you've got everything that you need for 4 players just in this box. You'll then be taking on the forces of darkness in the times before the Lord of the Rings. You may be even raiding Dol Guldur, reliving The Hobbit, if you get those expansion boxes when they come out, and you'll be recruiting allies, which may be just some generic soldiers from Rohan and Gondor, still some great allies to have, or even some named characters like Gandalf as you fight against the forces of darkness in order to complete your mission and also complete the mini campaigns that you will be going on. Each box, as well as each scenario pack, has a few different steps, and the rulebook does contain a nice campaign log that you can print from Fantasy Flight Games or just copy what you have in order to keep track of your progress as you try to save Middle-earth from those dastardly, well, not dastardly, those dark forces. Not sure why I said dastardly. You get where I was going with it. In any case, I think I've talked enough about the game. Let's take a look at what's in the box for this revised edition. Let's take a look at what's in the box for the Lord of the Rings, the card game. Now, we did previously have 2 core boxes for the game as we were looking to get into it. However, when we heard that this was coming out, we decided to sell them and switch it up and just start following the new releases, because we did get a couple plays of them. It was fun, but didn't quite grab us because there was a lot of the deck building that had to be done. And while we do enjoy that, it wasn't just a main feature, especially with Marvel Champions. So we've got a nice game overview, explains how to create decks and scenarios for your first game. Got the setup, different spheres of influences. So this Learn to Play has got a very nice guide, lots of pictures. Now, we have played this. I've also played this online, so I think we'll be good to get this set up. There's a campaign setup checklist in here. There is a quick reference guide on the back, and then there is just a way to score the different scenarios. So a campaign log as well. So these are things that you can probably just print out directly from FFG's website, or if you want, you can, just photocopy them. Then, typically from Fantasy Flight Games, you have a rules reference guide. So if you're just looking up what the rule is, what like an ally means, what something else means, you can reference this. I always find these to be really helpful. So this is the new way that they do things. So we have Journeys in Middle-earth. And it's our favorite game. We have all of it. Don't need to keep that. Now, this does drive me nuts. I hate seeing the extra plastic wrap used on cardboard components. I think it's just wasteful, but it definitely makes things easier for the factoring. So we have just the different tokens, some of the different damage, putting together the dials, the health wheel. We've got, I think, one of the turn order markers here. It's been quite a while since we played, at least a couple years. Everything that you need to assemble the different dials. And we'll move that up the side. And then we've got a few different stacks of cards. And I'm wondering if they are, looks like we have all the hero cards on one side, not necessarily packaged in any particular way. Cards are loose enough to get open fairly easily here. So we got that done. Probably end up sleeving this game. Julie and I love everything Lord of the Rings, and with Journeys in Middle-earth ending, this is probably going to be our fix. So we've got Aragorn, Theodred, Glowin, Gimli, Legolas, Dwalin, Eowyn, Eleanor, Dunhere, Denethor, Glorfindel, like all these different heroes. Beravor, the Citadel Guards, Faramir, multiple Faramirs, Sons of Arnor. So all the different cards that you can add to your deck based on your sphere of influence. You can tell by the different base of the characters, but a lot more than what you had when you started the game. A few different event cards that you can play. Some attachments to level up your abilities. Got other allies, spearmen, archers. Very cool stuff. I like the look of the cards. Quality feels good. Like I said, though, I'm probably going to still sleeve it just because, much like Marvel Champions, if we end up going all in on this LCG, which I think is probably going to happen, and I'm sure plenty of people out there are going to say, hey, if you like LCGs, you have to check out the Arkham Horror LCG. I think that's one that I might have to wait till it's finally in like a third edition or something of the sorts before I want to invest in it, just because, we got a lot of games, not a ton of time, and as much as I do love Arkham Horror, I'd have to find a way to justify getting into that and make sure to be able to keep up with all the releases, all the stuff that's already out, and get it played. So let's see what we've got here. So we have some more of the different events, things like Quick Strike, Swift Strikes, a ways to deal damage, stand together, some items, blades, the Horn of Gondor, Wandering Took, so a few different allies that you can get here. I don't want to take too long in this unboxing going through all the details of each card. So a few more events, Light in the Darkness, Dwalin's Tomb, Favor of the Lady. So lots of cool stuff that we got here. Some more allies. And you're really just getting what feels to me like a far more complete experience when I remember what we had in the original box. Oh, so unfortunately we don't have some more, like some pre-molded dividers and a few things that you got in Marvel Champions, but the game is different, so I mean, you don't want to necessarily store it the same way. I feel like Marvel Champions doing the pre-mades and kind of building specific types of decks that you like and specific combos, so you want to store that stuff together, potentially so you can just slot it into the heroes that you like to use it with, or maybe with some modifications, whereas this, I think you're going to do a lot more deck building depending on your different scenarios. Whereas in Marvel Champions, it seems like it's more based on the hero and potentially a little less on the scenarios and who you're facing. So we have a few more allies here. Some different events, quest actions, Candle Search, protection from Lorien, so just some different types of attachments going through all the different, like we got Gandalf as an ally, all the different aspects. Valor seems to be standard, and then here we get, we've got Lord of the Rings cards. Here we get the enemies, King Spiders, Great Forest. As you travel into the land, some treachery cards, more enemy cards that are going to show up. Yeah, it definitely feels like we got a much more rounded amount of enemies, different locations you're going to have to travel to and face the forces of darkness and evil. Here we've got some more locations, and Dol Guldur Orcs, Chieftain Uthak, treachery cards with the Palantir, the Necromancer's Pass, Enchanted Streak. So it feels like you're really going and taking on the adventure right after, sort of set around like the adventure of Dol Guldur before The Hobbit and before The Lord of the Rings, facing off against the Necromancer, which is cool, which is really the start of the War of the Ring, Gandalf's map. So it's just some different objectives, different enemies, more locations. So it looks like we got a wide range of scenarios here too. I'm not sure if they included any specific things. So flies and spiders, some different side quests. Yeah. And then campaign cards, how to go through everything. So really want to just take you through a nice quick look as to what you get in the box, especially if you're wondering if you should necessarily get this box if you already have the original game. I don't think so. All the art and everything feels the same to me. So unless you're just an avid collector and you want to have this new box. I think your original collection is going to be pretty good. You'll just have to try to figure out what's new and what's old, as they are. I don't know how much new content's coming for this. I think they're just kind of jumping on the opportunity, especially maybe with Journeys of Middle-earth coming to an end, to sort of get this line back up and running. In terms of people like myself that love Journeys but are going to need their Lord of the Rings fix. So there you have it. We've taken a look at what's in the box. Now keep it right here, as I'll be coming back at you with a quick outro. Thank you very much for watching, everyone. If you like what you saw, don't forget to click that like button, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell so that YouTube will let you know when our next video is released. Also, down below in the video description, you'll find links to all of our social media feeds: Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. If you'd like to see pictures of Julie and I playing the Lord of the Rings, the card game, when we get it to the table, there'll be plenty on those feeds. Also, down there is a link to multizone.ca, a great Canadian game store. Click that link, get 10% off your next purchase. It's a great way to support the channel, as a portion of that purchase is returned to us. So if you're looking for a copy, make sure to take advantage of that discount. Also, popping up in front of me are going to be links to some of our previously released videos. Over here will be our most recent release, and over here, when it's available, will be our review of the Lord of the Rings, the card game. Until then, enjoy one of the videos that we have on the Lord of the Rings Journeys in Middle-earth. And with that being said, don't forget, keep playing games.